manly man John Cena. What have you gotten yourself into now? On May 8th, John Cena said this in an interview.
Taiwan 是第一次国家看到速度与激情九。
Yikes, we can't be having that now, can we? As you all know, our comrades, China, a very socialist country, very much respects workers' rights and human rights, believes that Taiwan is part of China. And you can probably guess what happens next.
我做很多采访，很多，所以在一个采访，我有一个错误，我必须说现在就是很重要。我爱更尊重中国，更中国人。
Now, of course, there's been backlash in America from people across the political spectrum of varying quality.
It just shows you how in bed our corporate overlords are with a totalitarian regime. The only upside to this is I don't see Cena running around crapping on America and apologizing to China like LeBron James.
Yeah, so Greg Gutfeld obviously doesn't actually care about freedom to criticize a country, and he constantly simps for our very corporate overlords while complaining the poor don't pay enough in taxes.
Taiwan is a country. Hong Kong used to be a sovereign. It's been taken over by the Chinese Communist Party. The CCP is now engaged in a genocide against an entire Muslim population. And what that means for America is we're screwed.
There's no criticism Fox makes of China that doesn't also apply to America, where we conduct arms deals for our corporate overlords so that Israel can conduct a genocide of Muslims, Palestinians overseas. It just goes to show conservatives don't actually believe anything. They flip their positions on a dime because China calls themselves communist. But this story isn't really about John Cena. John Cena is a celebrity and actors are in fact workers. It's probably written in a contract somewhere he can't do anything to actively hurt his company's bottom line. Without an apology, China would probably censor the shit out of any movie Cena appears in from now until the end of time, essentially making Cena unhireable. Essentially, this is a cancel culture battle. Either become the laughingstock of American politics forever, or face the wrath of the Chinese box office failure. And as the left should have realized by now, cancel culture is best weaponized by the people with all the money. If we're gonna do it, we should pick our targets carefully. Now obviously, Cena is a very rich man. He's not under the types of coercive forces that affect most of the American working class. But he obviously isn't a Hollywood blockbuster star for his small ego. What do you expect? Obviously he was gonna do the beta bitch boy move. But I'm more interested in systemic solutions than worrying about one actor who put himself in a lose-lose situation. There's only so much of a social conscience even highly unionized organizations like the NBA can have before the profit motive steers workers towards compelled speech. Of course, this wouldn't come close to solving everything, but having worker control of the means of production would allow individual workers to have more leeway in properly representing their own beliefs. Of course, it would also force conservatives to give up this charade of Red Scare propaganda. If Republicans weren't so invested in this anti-communist virtue signaling, they'd admit they don't actually mind any of the shit China's doing as long as it's America doing it.